Family, Black first to every single last one of y'all. This is a we come to you with some not good news, but there's some stuff we have to talk about. I'm talking about breaking. We got to talk about this right now because this is just out of hand, and the situation is really out of hand. And as a community, it's important for us to address this. Now, when it comes to Black empowerment, we speak on this not just as far as opposition, but we also speak on this in a corrective manner internally. We speak on this when it comes to things that we need to fix ourselves. We're not out here making it seem as if the only problems that we have come from outside of the community. Whether they're outside or inside of the community, we're going to address it because it is a harmful thing to the community. It's harmful. All right. So people asking where I've been moving some stuff around. I gotta find my glasses. Maybe we'll do that on commercial break. If we have a commercial break, we don't have commercial breaks. But if I find it stumbling around, I'll get it. I'll get it. I told you she be on me about the glasses. She's not playing about the glasses. That's our first comment. That's our first comment. Oh, I love it. Okay. All right. But we definitely got to talk about this. Let me first off get Zizi. What was your first reaction when you saw this? We're talking about a mother who's a Black mother walking her children home from school. Kid gotta be around what 9 at tops, and then a smaller daughter who was like maybe 6.
Yeah,
maybe around that age, 6, 7 possibly, and she was walking them home from school, and there was a crowd of children. Young children, but they were older children than the kids, and they were trying to get at the kids, and they were like videotaping and getting at the mama, and then they literally started beating the mom up and the kids. Which we can't show because we don't show nor support violence, but we will show enough so you can understand. But what was your reaction first when you first saw that?
That shit made me sick. And let me say this before. I'm glad you did say that because we do hold FBAs accountable. We check anti-Blackness in all spaces. Absolutely.
Yes.
We just don't need the addition of non-FBAs add no to our problems. As you can see, we already got enough goddamn problems. Okay. But yeah, that made me sick for sure. You know, it was very sad to see. I hate to see, I don't like seeing Black people fight each other anyways. We're not full violence, but if we all going to use violence, use it against our open enemy. Okay, use it against those that are openly being violent against us in a systematic way. But yeah, to see that go against each other and to see children do that to a mother and to other children, and mind you, these children are like the girls was like 12, 13. These are like 8th graders doing this to very young children and a mother that has sickle cell. So that was just sick to see. I was so disappointed, so disgusted with the behavior. And honestly, we're gonna get into it, but I just know that there's no way that their upbringing was correct with that sort of behavior, because there's no way. Yeah. And I didn't have a lot. I didn't call attitudes as a child. I didn't have back and forth with teachers. I didn't have smart ass mouth for sure. But I've never thought to put my hands on no adult. Point blank, period. Not a parent, not a teacher. That has never even crossed my mind because I knew the consequences I would get when I got home.
Yeah, so, that's insane. Yeah,
it's egregious.
Yeah, it is. To show you the video, this is the video we have right here. Viewer discretion is advised, although we won't show the violent part of it. But this is what we have right here.
Come on, blood. Shamar looking at. Shamar. Come here. What you want, Shamar? Foot. Shamar, foot. What you want, Shamar? Shamar looking at. Come on. Look at them ankles, blood. Shamar looking at. Julia. Hey, foot, don't touch my brother, foot.
Oh, hell no, those ankles ashy as fuck.
Look at them bitches, bad crackhead. Other bitches, Lauren. That's the guy. There you are.
Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna stop it right there. That because then it leads to them. They start swinging, and then they start pulling her down, and then she's on the ground, and they stomping. And I'm gonna stop that right there. But as you can see, it's a quite a few of them.
Yeah,
It's a whole crowd of them.
following them.
For whatever reason, they're following. I don't know where the parents are. First off, she's coming to pick her kids up from school. Clearly, they got their book bags on, coats, they're leaving school. So why are they like, do these children walk home from school? How are they getting home from school? All of these kids, how are they getting home from school? Is she the only parent who's responsible enough to pick their kids up from school? Because what are they doing? Just lingering out. Because they're all recently just getting off of school.
Yeah.
So how are they even able to follow her? I mean, when I was around that age, first off, my parents wouldn't let me go nowhere by myself when I was around that age without the company of an adult. But if they were, when I was a little bit older than that, because they couldn't be more than 13 years old, to be honest. But when I was, they knew exactly where I was going, who I was going with, where I was going to be, how long I was going to be there, all of these things from start to finish. It was no just lingering around. So all of these kids, why are they not being picked up? If they have a bus, why are they not waiting? Well, how are they able to follow this this kid and the mother? That's my question.
Mm-hmm. And how far was they from the school that nobody other adults, even like chaperones, crossing guards, teachers, administrators, nobody else has seen this? Like, it does look like they're in a neighborhood, but again, like you said, it looks like they're just now getting out of school. So yeah, like you said, I mean, I did as a child, living in Maryland, I did walk home from school, but it was a very short distance from where I used to live at. And that was in like 4th to 5th grade. My parents, I had my sister with me as well. So it was 2 of us, and we had a group of friends and things of that nature to walk home with us. However, we also had a lot of family, so there was never anything too devious we were doing, because we knew that our family wasn't far. Our mother had caught us walking home from school a couple times. She would pick us up in the middle of us walking home and just take us the rest of the way. So things that, I can't understand, even latchkey kids and things of that nature. Some children don't have that, their parents might be at work. I get that. But there is a level of responsibility that comes with that. Your child, the behaviors of your child, you've seen some of the egregious things they might have done. They get reports back from their teachers, whatever the case may be, if they've been in fights. So there has to be a responsibility held here, at least towards the parents, because there's no way, again, that you should be, it's just so, that's such a conniving, it's a devious thing to do, for you to be waiting for not only these children, these young children, and also their mother, and for all of this whole group to not only do this, but to be recording it and think this is funny. Like that's a level of wickedness that's like, come on now, that's a great, you're gonna beat up this mother and her child and wait to do that and jump her, and that multiple of y'all. That's not okay. And they chose the right one, because they knew that woman was not strong enough to take on all them children. Because I would have whooped them kids. I'm just saying, them kids would have been, I would have been whooping ass. Y'all got
when I first saw the video, I'm all like, I probably wouldn't have killed them, but
I wouldn't have killed them.
I wouldn't. I don't think they would have tried me anyway.
Yeah,
but like, this is a thing. If a male was there, if a grown man was there, they wouldn't have tried that. They wouldn't have. They would, even if he was that size, they wouldn't have tried that. Because she's a small woman. I mean, she's not too much bigger than her kids. So
yeah,
I don't know how tall she is. She's maybe 5'4", 5'5" ish, possible. She's not no big woman.
She's not.
Or whatever the case
not much
is.
shorter than her. The little girl.
But even if it was a man who's 5'5", 5'6", like a short man, okay, they still wouldn't have tried that. Okay,
sure.
They still wouldn't have. All right, and they know for a fact that catching her off guard, because she might have fared better trying to defend herself if she wasn't with her kids. But the fact that she's with her 2 children, her main priority is going to be trying to protect them instead of protect herself. So she's in a very vulnerable place. And plus, her instinct as a mother is not going to be to hurt the kids, even though You
That's a
know,
fact. That's a fact. I don't have children, so yeah, I would have back. I would have been definitely. It would have been open hand, but I definitely would have been slapping the shit out of kids and
look,
throwing them little niggas for sure.
all you
For
gotta do
sure.
is break one's arm, the rest gonna run away. That's
One
all
gets
you
not
gotta
bad
do.
enough.
Just
You're right.
stop one out.
Because ain't no way damn sorry. But I do empathize, though, like you said, with your children. Her priority is trying to protect her children. I mean, I didn't even notice till you just replayed it that they had hit the little boy. Luckily that was off camera, but you hear her say, like, don't hit my son. I didn't even peep that the first time I watched it, that they actually hit the little boy first before they even started hitting her. So apparently, I think they were trying to target the children more so. But even with that little boy, like you said, is way younger than them. So I don't even know why he would be the target of that. Like, I don't know what kids do, crazy things, kids do bad, you know what I'm saying? They hurt each other, they talk about each other. So not to say that little boy didn't do something to one of them little girls the previous day or the previous week, and this was some sort of get back, but for them to be that much older than him, there's a level of response. Baby, tell his parent, tell a teacher, tell an administrator. You don't do all of that. Where's a bunch of y'all trying to jump two little ass kids? That's insane. That's just inexcusable.
Yeah. There's nothing for a whole, looks like a mob of people following him. Like, what could he have done? And then to the degree they didn't express that in the video. This is get back for anything. You shouldn't have did this. It just looked like he was just targeted because it looked like he was a weak person that they could beat up, or at least that's what they thought.
Yeah, and maybe he was getting bullied to a degree. They could, I mean, because it could be that situation as well. And then there was, you know, because some children, unfortunately, do have problems with authority, do have problems with, especially if they're not seeing that sort of nurturing, that sort of care, that sort of protection at home. When they see that with other children, that envy, that jealousy they have when they see that can kind of spew out into violence. You know, it's like, well, if I can't have it, I'm gonna beat you up to make sure you don't have it. You know, I'm gonna beat your parent up to make sure they can't give it to you. So that could be where that could be stemming from as well, is that they're not getting that enough at home. They don't have that level of protection, and there's an envy there. But again, still no excuse. That was just egregious.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not. It should not be tolerated. I want to get to the mother, because the mother was hospitalized. She gets into the hospital, and she made a video, and this was what she had to say.
That I just don't put shit on Facebook, like real shit that I go through every day in life. I don't post that on Facebook because people like to use that against you. So I try to keep shit to myself. I don't even got nobody to live to. I don't got friends. I don't trust nobody. Nothing. Yeah. I've been complaining to the same motherfucking school for 2-3 years now. At first, it was just like, okay, nitpicking, calling each other. It's nothing. I just don't put.
Okay, then the video repeats itself. Now I want to get to, she had a press conference afterwards because the community was very concerned. I do want to say one thing, and somebody said something in the chat room as well too. That video, now it wasn't that long collectively all together. It might have been 5 minutes, and I'm kind of stretching it, but notice how, like, nobody, it was a lot of ruckus and noise and a crowd of people. Nobody came outside. Nobody did anything. Like, you know, when we hear stuff, we'll peep out the blinds and we'll see like what's going on, crack the door open and see what's going on. If we would have saw that something, nobody intervened, nobody, at least from what we've seen, that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And if that could have happened, then it could have prevented incident. You know,
that's
a very bad incident. This is the press conference that she had afterwards.
And she's not pregnant too. I know she said that in the video too.
Okay, here it is.
Absolutely.
And you deserve.
They were literally waiting the way we walk home just to jump all of us.
So now we waiting.
Just to jump all of us. So I asked my kids to come to the next side of the street with me. So they wouldn't get jumped. So we kept walking. They followed us all the way there, and then they still followed us. They fought my son and hit my son first.
That's right.
Then they dragged me in the grass and pulled my little baby hair.
Mm.
And I have video footage of that.
Yes, we do. Everybody
will.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you deserve it.
How you feel about it? Yeah.
Mamas need to go to jail too.
I appreciate it.
The mamas got no kids and they got kids.
I'm here. I'm thankful for everybody that came out here.
Justice and juvenile. This is how we come together.
Yes. The father want to say something, y'all. This the daddy.
And once we get them out of here, it'll be a better one.
We need somebody from the school out here too. Where they at?
Give her a gift. She's trying to give her a gift. That's something for you, baby.
Blessings, my bro. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's okay. God got you. Oh, this shit is bringing tears to me. Yes. Yes.
Now, you can't really hear, you can't really make out, but she's doing better. I just want you to see that she is doing better. What happened? You can't really make out because a lot of people are talking, but as you can see, the community is very concerned. Okay, the father is there. You can't really hear what he has to say, but I don't know if they're together or not, but he was at least present there, so that's a good sign that he's involved to that degree. Where like, if his children and the mother of his children gets jumped, he's gonna be there. So. And that is a good sign. I would say, I don't know if they're in a relationship, if they're broken up or whatever the case is. He might have been at work. They might be married and whatever the case is. He might be at work and we don't know. I don't know. I'm going to say that. But that is a good sign that he is there. And this is a sign that's important because what they do is they have a lot they have the mother in front of the news, and she should be, but they also need to show the father being present there too, because we have this narrative in the community. Because I'm seeing a lot of, the white supremacists be all like, well, you see, that's because you don't have the dads around. The dads aren't there, and the dads aren't there. And we will talk about the fatherhood in the situation. That's not their place to talk about, but we can see though that at least the victim's father is present. And is there and is concerned, okay, about what's going on. All right. And the community is too. And this also goes to culture, because when people talk about Black culture, culture is what is practiced and accepted among a group of people. Okay. Is behavior of people. But the behavior has to be accepted though. Right. If the behavior is not collectively accepted, then it is not a part of the culture. Clearly, this is not, because you see a crowd of people swarming around her in support, giving her gifts, giving her love, and all of that. All right. So clearly, this is not an accepted part of foundational Black American culture. And I think that this press conference really illustrates that.
For sure. And even the amount of coverage it's getting from Black Americans are the first people I've seen, and I continue to see. We are the loudest voices on criticizing what happened, and really criticizing the parents of these children that attacked this woman and her children, criticizing the behaviors. So this is clearly not something that's, like you said, it's not openly accepted. This is not a part of our culture. We've always been taught to respect our elders, to not put your hands on people unless they put your hands on you. That bullying, none of that is a part of our culture. That's always been something that's been shamed. So that is, like you said, that's a positive. That's great to see that there is so much community support out there and online support from people, again, Black media, and even just people giving their 1-2s, giving their opinions on it on social media, period, and not in agreement of what happened. So that's lovely to see. That is. But like you said, this is egregious. I don't know what the level. Somebody said that the brother was at work, the father was at work. So you know things like that happen, but to see that they were I can hear what you was. I could hear it in the background what you was just playing.
Oh,
but,
the video's still up. I'm sitting up getting the next video ready. Okay, my bad. I didn't know the video was okay. It's in the background.
But yeah, to hear her say that she's been dealing with this and complaining to the school about this harassment from children for 3 years. It's like, okay, like now I understand, because I did see some sisters and brothers kind of having a back and forth with the. It was like I don't know if this was at the same press conference. I'm sure it was, but it was they wasn't related to the family, but they was having a back and forth whether this should be put on the school or the parents, and really it should be put on both. If she's been going to the school for 3 years about bullying, baby, that's the problem. Why wouldn't these children should be escorted home. These children should be, honestly, or her children should be let out before those children, so they're able to get home before those children even have a chance to get to them, or some sort of precaution should have been put in place from the school and from the parents, so so they can ensure that those children get home safely. That's ridiculous. 3 years, it's crazy. It sounds like a lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed. And the thing is that like this situation is very preventable. It is very preventable. And when we talk about bullying, we're not talking about somebody balling up a piece of paper and throwing paper airplanes at the back of somebody's head in class. Okay. We're not talking about somebody saying that your breath stinks and writing that on the locker or something like that. We're not talking about no innocent little, well, I'm sad about it, I'm a little embarrassed, and then I go to sleep, I wake up, it's a done deal. We're talking about people being followed home and jumped. That's to use the word bullying is very light in that situation. That's a very light word to use when you're talking about people being jumped, a mother being jumped and then sent to the hospital. Bullying is a very light word to use. We need to use a word that's beyond bullying if it's gotten to this degree. And the thing is with bullying only escalates if it doesn't get stopped. Okay. Right. It's a corrosive issue. It will only worsen and spread if it doesn't get stopped. So I'm sure on day one, they weren't following the kids and jumping them on day one, but it was probably some teasing, some nicknames and all of that stuff being called. They told their mom, the mom told the school blew it off, and then it got worse, and then next thing you know, I can kind of push somebody, and then he tells his mom tells the school doesn't do anything, and it escalates and it gets worse and worse and worse. And now these kids are accustomed to no consequence. They're accustomed to being able to be like, I mean, I'm not going to get punished because my parents aren't doing anything. The school is not even, at least if they're not going to suspend me, they're not even at least going to contact my parents. Right. So if this is going on for 3 years, it's probably started off real small, and then next thing you know, it grew to this huge issue. And this is the thing when it comes to bullying. And this is why we got to hold schools accountable, parents as well, but schools accountable. Because even if the parents didn't know that their kids were bullying, if the parents were raising their children correctly, the children should have a sense of morality and consciousness not to go that far. Exactly. Okay, they should, even if they felt like they were going to get off scot-free, get away with it, they should have been like, man, that's just kind of wrong. I don't like, even if it was me and I knew for a fact my parents were never going to find out. If I was in that situation, I would have felt bad. I would have felt like that was wrong. The fact that they can do that and laugh and joke, I would have felt like it would have been too heavy on my heart to do that to somebody.
Yeah. It should weigh on them children. Like you said, even though they're not adults, that's something that's taught in the home. That level of that sense of morality is first taught in the home. So that's a reflection. Children are just a reflection of your own behaviors, of your own morality, of your own sense of self, of your own values. They're a reflection of what they're taught. They're sponges, so they soak up what they see. If they're not being taught that at home, baby, if they're not being taught empathy and being shown, not only just taught but being shown that, and how to imply that in real life, they're not, you're going to see that reflected in their behaviors, especially at 12, 13, baby. No, that's insane. 12, 13, you know what the hell, you know the difference between right and wrong. That's crazy. It's unjustified.
Yeah. Speaking of being inside the household and all of that stuff, I'm gonna get to some of the parents' reactions. Okay. Let me get to some of the parents' reactions and some of the and that way you can kind of tell, you can kind of see. This is probably why the situation has gotten this far. Let me show you this one. Hold on. Scrolling through. This is a post. I'm just gonna read this real quick. This is a post. These are the parents here. This is a post. I'm gonna just look at it a little bit. Okay. Gotta zoom in. Let me say this. My first daughter is a great ass kid. Okay. Just saying it like that. Hold on. I don't know if hold on. Let me do it like that. She's a great ass kid. A AB student, captain of cheerleading team, ahead of her class, and some more crap. Okay, you can say this. All good things from every teacher. Okay. All right. And then she says some more stuff. We don't owe nobody an apology. Okay. To be that lady and her kids, to be, I don't know.
But that lady, she got she's misspelling and all types of shit. But that lady and her kids.
Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't know if that was, yeah. But that lady and her kids. So nobody an apology, but that lady and her kids. Okay. So y'all, and yeah, it's just the grammar is terrible. I don't know how she's an AB student. Not that you helping. But you ain't helping her with her homework if she an AB student. But I digress. Okay. That lady and her kids. So y'all grown MFers looking for a viral moment, please shut the F up, because kids gonna be kids, and it's kids out here that did way worse So or let alone y'all as when y'all was 12, 13, old as used to be out beating up crackheads and all.
What?
Okay. Let me
agree.
Okay, beating up crackheads. It continues to go. Let me see. Y'all don't know us at all. She was peer pressured. So she's talking about her daughter was peer pressured to jump them.
Mind you, her daughter was the first one to throw the punch.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
If you know my family, you know if we find a friend and an MF, we gonna stand behind them 100%, no matter what. That okay, all right. So she's saying that, and she gonna stand. So she essentially saying, "F y'all."
We don't owe y'all no apology.
She owes no apology to nobody. Okay. Then she goes on and she's arguing. Okay.
Oh, this is the comments.
Yeah. She's arguing them. Now I'm finna keep arguing a bunch of stupid blank nobodies who don't know S. But I don't know why okay. So she's doing this on purpose, I guess. I guess this is the Facebook way of saying it. But what they seen on a video, what we seen on the video is enough, ma'am. It's been a long day. Everybody be calm and go to bed. Okay, all right. No, B, you clearly the one slow here. I guess slow. I don't know what that is. So HEO. Okay.
Oh, the slow. I got you. Yeah.
Okay. Can you read or no? Don't just, okay. You said, can you read or not? But ma'am, you can't spell. Don't just, there's supposed to be a T after this. Don't just use your eyes. Oh, read. Okay. I mean, she's going back and forth. I don't, the grammar's just kind of throwing me off. I'm trying to make it out, but damn. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Okay. But do you see with the lack of accountability from the parent, you can tell that the daughter's like she's standing 10 toes behind the daughter. Okay. Saying that your daughter was pure pressured. When nobody pure pressured your daughter into doing anything. She was peer pressured all the way following them. They followed them for at least about a block.
Yep.
For at least about a block. And all of the kids was in on it. Okay. And this is the type of parenting that enables this behavior. All right. And this is why the parents need to be held accountable as well, too. Because with this, kids gonna be kids. First off, kids are not doing that. That's not kids gonna be kids. Kids gonna be kids if you know, I don't know, you cheat on a test or something like that.
Right.
You skip school, you skip not even school, you skip a class to go hang out with your friends or something like that. That's kids gonna be kids. Kids gonna be kids if you run in the store and you put a little Snicker bar in your pocket or something like that, and you try to run out with it. And nobody's saying that that's okay. Nobody's saying that we should tolerate that. But we're saying that's kids gonna be kids. Nobody's hurt at the end of the day. Throwing somebody on the ground and stomping their head is not kids gonna be kids. She said, and y'all used to beat up crackheads.
That's a projection. Her ass beat up crackheads. That's what the sound like. That was a projection. Because girl, when nobody else beat up no damn crackheads. Look, it's a deflection anyways. But this is very telling of why this little girl, and honestly probably why the other children, other parents probably feel a similar way. But specifically for this one little girl, because mind you, this is the parent of the little girl who swung first on the daughter. Swung first on the mother. So the fact that her first instinct is to come out and talk about how her child is the captain of the cheerleading team and how she make it. Nobody's calling your child stupid. Nobody's calling your child unintelligent. We're saying that was absolutely unexcusable and an egregious behavior that needs to be corrected. Point blank, period. That has nothing to do with her accolades. That has nothing to do with the accomplishments she's made in school. That's a deflection. And it does not bring any sympathy or empathy to your child. I don't give a damn if she was president of the school. I don't give a damn if she won every award possible for that school. That's no excuse for her to get up there and put her hands on two little children and a mother that has sickle cell that's clearly not even fighting back and not even trying to fight y'all in the first place. That is unexcusable right there. And my problem with this is that these mothers are failing. These parents are failing the children. We've seen a similar reaction when that little girl, remember when the girl, I think she was in high school though. The girl hit they was on running track and she hit the other girl with the baton and the little girl had a fractured skull and she got up there like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just don't believe me. Y'all are failing your children. If we don't hold our children accountable, the world will, the system of white supremacy will. And nigga, you don't want them, but you don't want them to hold them accountable. Come on. We don't want them type of issues. So we have to hold our children accountable. You need to take every phone, every tablet. You need to be on their ass. They need ass whoopings. If we being real, get that belt out to be real. They need written apologies. They need formal apologies. They need to be at that school apologizing to the school, apologizing to them children. There should be no cut cards on, oh yeah, well, but she does this. Oh, well, he's good at that. Oh, that shouldn't even be at the forefront of the conversation. That shouldn't even be said. Point blank, period. You as a mother should be setting an example. And the first thing you should have did was make a public apology to that family, period. And then you make your child do the same. Because there's no way in the hell she was bold enough to get up on camera and hit a grown-ass woman, but you can't be bold enough to get up on camera and apologize to her. That's insane. They're failing their damn children.
Exactly. If you're going to sit up here and say, we don't owe the community an apology, which you actually honestly do.
You do.
You honestly. Are we back?
I think we good now. You look fine.
Okay.
I think we good. Yeah.
Okay. I apologize about it. I don't know what happened. We just kind of just that a weird thing. We just froze up. I don't know what happened. I apologize about that. But I don't want to slow anything down. Okay. If you're going to say we don't owe anybody but them an apology, and then you give an excuse for you didn't even say she was absolutely wrong. She's going to get some type of therapy, counseling, or anything. First, you said she was peer pressured, which takes away from her agency, takes away from her accountability, and says that she's a good kid and it wasn't her fault. And then to say we don't know what happened, all we saw was the video. The video is enough. So you're trying to play defense for somebody instead of holding them accountable. What do you think if the parent does this? What do you think that she will enable? All the kid feels like is if I get good grades in school, my behavior can be whatever I want it to be.
Right.
Is that the precedent that you're setting as a mother? Now, I want to play some more of the parents' reactions here. Apologize about that technical issue we had, but we back now. We good.
Do you have that little girl apologizing her daughter?
Yeah, I got that one.
Okay.
But let me show you this one. Hold on.
Oh, is this little miss?
This is the aunt of one of the women.
What's funny though, y'all was looking for me and y'all was chiming in on shit that y'all don't know nothing about. Oh, is this little miss? Yeah, this Miss Ugly Jacket, bitch. That's my niece, bitch. What are you talking about? Sad, no, you sad, bitch. You sad. I want to go outside now. I'm ready to go outside. I'm going outside. I'm going outside, bro. Samaya, what's funny? Girl came out in black, pink, and brown. Don't worry about what she came out the house with.
No, okay, because it kind of shows the video a little bit, so I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna. What is going on? What is going on? Hold on.
Oh, this joint true.
Boy, it's never done this before. I don't know what's going on. You know, StreamYard's been kind of acting funny lately.
Yeah.
So they've been kind of doing that lately. So just understand that was StreamYard. But first off, I want to let you know, if this would not my mother, not my father, not my auntie, nobody would sit up there, be online with a face in the camera defending that type of behavior. Talk about, oh, I'm her auntie and now you can do whatever. And this should let you know, if the whole family is behind this nonsense, then this is why she's acting this way. And let me show you some more stuff. Okay. If he'll let me. I mean, it's tripping right now, but we gonna make it work.
The whole city of Chicago. You know the whole city of Chicago looking for you, right? You and your little friends. Because you was grown yesterday. You were grown. And you was gonna jump somebody. So now they looking for you. You know that, right? You know I'm not helping you, right? You know the whole city of Chicago looking for you, right? You and your little friends.
Okay.
You was grown yesterday. You were grown. And you was gonna jump somebody. So now they looking for you. You know that, right? You know I'm not helping you, right?
All right. So you saw that. And let me say this. Okay, the whole, the whole city is kind of looking for those kids. But I will say this. Even though that she says, I'm not helping you, she needs to step in.
For sure. This
very nonchalant parenting of, hey, I mean, you did it, so you got to face the consequence. How old is that kid? 11, 12 years old? Even if the kid does need to face consequences, I'm not sure if that was a boy or a girl. Even if the kid does need to face consequences for their actions, the parents are you laid up in the bed. Hey, I mean, they looking for you. I don't know what you're gonna do about it. What type of behavior is that? What type of reaction is that? Like lack of concern. That's my thing. This very nonchalant way of saying that. Now, one parent, I would say, at least she kind of forced an apology out of that. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, this is the same.
Say anything, keep it respectful.
You said what?
This is the same mother from that Facebook post.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is the same one.
I didn't know. Okay.
Say anything, keep it respectful. This is the child.
Hey, my name is Kamira Grant Air. I was wrong for everything.
It's okay, Kamira.
For everything that I did. And I
to say anything, keep it respectful. This is the child.
Hey, my name is Kamira Grant Air. I was wrong for everything.
Okay. Well, that's that. Here we go there. Now, I will say that is actually, every time I try to move this, because I can't pull the video up. So I'm just gonna not do that then. I'm just gonna not close that out because it keeps taking us both down. I'm gonna say that first off, that's not enough. That's not nearly enough of an apology for me. And that's the only apology from the children I've seen so far. I haven't seen another video of an apology from anybody else. That's not enough.
It's not nearly enough.
Not enough.
It's not even the tip of the iceberg, baby. And honestly, that was a bullshit apology. She should have made her write an apology. Just as clear as you was up there cursing at that lady. Because mind you, they wouldn't just hit, they didn't just jump her. They up there cursing, going on a girl, talking about her ankles. And y'all got all this to say. You was speaking real loud and clear and bold when you was up there on that young lady and her two children. So I need you to be just as bold and clear and speak just as clearly when you up here apologizing. That's unexcusable. I'm sorry. She should have had her write something down and then clearly make a video doing it. And she should have done it publicly. Damn that. I would have made her ass get in front of her crowd and do it. But all this crying and she covering her face. And honestly, I'm gonna be real. Don't even look genuine. It looked like the little girl want to laugh if I'm being real. And I seen a longer version of that. And the little girl is like, yeah, I should have been following kids that got less than me. Nigga, what is this lady talk? What is this lady telling her child to talk about? That don't got nothing to do with nothing you having more than children. No, it's spoiled ass rich children that have wicked ass behaviors. It has nothing to do again with your accolades or what you have as a child, what you have materialistically from your parents. Baby, that doesn't matter. What matters is your actions were absolutely egregious. And you have to be held accountable. You have to hold yourself accountable. Your parents have to be held accountable. They have to hold you accountable. And you have to have a public, clear apology at the very least. Not only to that mother, but to her children specifically and to the community, like you said. That is absolutely ridiculous for you to get up here on this is, and you know what this is? It's honestly giving clout chase, even with that auntie who was up there trying to act like, oh yeah, that was my niece. I'm sorry, I'm on the internet, baby. There's no way in the hell if one of my nieces and nephews, knock on wood, this never happens, and I know it will because they are not taught this type of fucking behavior. But there's no way in the world. My first reaction is to get up here and be like, oh yeah, y'all tripped. That's my niece. Yeah, y'all. No, you are enabling this terrible behavior. Like you said, it's not just about A's and B's and then you get to do what the fuck you want. I'm sorry, you can do well at your job, and as soon as you walk up outside that job, you do something that break the law, nigga, your ass is going to jail. Point blank, period. That's why I'm like, don't let this system hold them accountable, baby. Because trust me, it's already Black Americans that's calling like they need to put their asses in juvie. These little girls is 12, 13, in 8th grade. 13, I think, is the minimum age requirement to go to juvie. So y'all could easily be locked the hell up. This is assault. Like, what are we talking? And y'all don't even know that people was assuming that young lady was pregnant at first. Thank God that she wasn't. But had she been, that's damn near attempted murder. What are we talking about? So you have to understand the severity of what you just did. There should be no joking around, no crying, no. If you want to cry, you better be crying and reading exactly. I don't want to see your face covered, baby. I need you to be clear as you can be, because that right there didn't look genuine at all. That's disgusting, man. These parents, honestly, the parents need to be, they need to press charges on them damn parents. And at this point, that's how I'm feeling, because that right there shows the lack of accountability, shows why she think this type of shit is okay. That's crazy.
There needs to be consequences. Even if she was 100% genuine in that apology, and she feels so much sorrow and regret, that's not how the world works. The world doesn't work with I can do bad things, and if I feel sorry about it, then that's really my apology. Right. No, the world punishes bad behavior. And if we allow this situation, as viral as it's gotten, I mean, we're talking about this, it happened in Chicago, but this is all over. Everybody's talking about it from different states, from all over the country. So if we allow this type of precedent to be set, where a whole crowd of kids can jump on two smaller kids and their mother, and all they have to do is give some half-ass, I'm sorry, cover my face, pretend to cry, because even if you are crying, if we allow that precedent to be set, what does that mean going forward? What type of behavior does this enable with no consequences going forward, with no punishment going forward? Because the jumping was public. The video they recorded, first off, it's embarrassing, it's hurtful, it's assault. They assaulted someone and recorded it, and that's public and for everybody on the internet to see.
It's traumatic.
So that means, and it is traumatic, he's going to have to grow up. He and that little girl are going to have to grow up knowing that there's an internet video online forever. Somebody has a video of them at the age of what, 10, 9 years old, if not younger, getting beat up with their mom on the internet. Somebody's always going to be able to pull that up. Okay. The mom is always going to be able to have to live with the fact that somebody got a video of her being jumped with her kids by kids. Okay. As traumatic as that is, they don't care. They didn't care what they were putting that child through, what they were putting those families through. Okay. And then she has to go to the hospital and all of that. So no, now there needs to be consequences, and the consequences need to be loud, and we need to know about it. Because we need to know that this behavior is being stomped out, that we are harsh on this type of behavior, not to enable more of it.
And you notice, I'm glad that, you pointed out the fact earlier that the father was right there next to her mother, the mother of the victim. I'm glad that he was. Again, we don't know their whole parental situation or if they're married, whatever the case may be, but he was there. All right. When he was available after the fact, and he was there to show that he's standing for his family. Notice that auntie wasn't with no man. That mother who was with her daughter wasn't with no man. Notice ain't no father came out in defense of these children. That's a problem too. I got to get on y'all ass, black women, because this right here is something that even Shahrazad Ali has talked about. It's the lack of accountability that is being passed down to our daughters, because it starts with us not having that level, that sense of accountability and morality, and understanding the heaviness, the impact that our behaviors have on our children and our community, and then not having a black man beside us, because mind you, most of the time that's what it is. If you don't got no black man beside you, but you got children, it's because of your own damn behaviors. Let's just be real. It ain't because you just can't find no good black man. It's because you can't find no good stepfathers, because your father's not the father of your children's not a good man. It's because of your own damn behaviors. So we have to be honest about that as well. This is an egregious part that we have to check, because that right there is something that is unexcusable as well. We cannot put this all on the children and not identify the fact that they are copying the behaviors of their mothers.
Yeah,
they are copying the behavior, and it's not being checked without the men around. Like you said, had a man been around when that woman was taking her children home, baby, that would have never happened. It damn sure wouldn't have happened like that. Them children wouldn't have got hit. That mother wouldn't have got. That's for sure, because the brother would have protected them. Point blank, period.
I don't think they would have even followed those kids.
They probably wouldn't even. That's a fact. But these women miss that. Too many of our women miss that. The level of protection that comes with that, and the level of even accountability, because black men are not going to let you go without being unaccountable. You're not going to be. The relationship is not going to work. So the fact that they don't have that is very telling. Anyways, the fact that you would be so quick as a mother to defend your child over something so damn egregious, and the father is nowhere to be found, is very telling. Very telling.
Notice that when you see those type of videos, notice that you see the mother's instinct of, my kid is a good kid. You don't see the father posting on Facebook defending the kids' behavior. I have not seen a single man on Facebook defending those kids' behaviors, but I do see the mothers doing that. I do see the aunties doing that. Okay. And we're going to have to be honest about this. In the role of children parenting, I was about to say child upbringing, but parenting. In the role of parenting, the males in the community, the men in the community, they're the ones who establish the discipline in the community.
Exactly.
Discipline, women are not, and I'm not saying women can't do discipline, because there are women who do it, but that's not their first instinct. Their first instinct will be just like how the mothers are. The first instinct is going to be to say, well, they didn't do nothing wrong, and to try to shield and guard and nurture them from any and all danger and accountability, even if that is to their own detriment.
Yep.
Because that's what she's doing. She's setting her children up for failure. And it has to do with a lot of pride. We got to get that out of the way. A lot of pride and a lot of ego and lack of accountability.
Yeah, that's
and
exactly
this is why the father being there, being present and being active is such a vital aspect of a child's upbringing.
That's a fact. The fathers are a necessity. Fathers are a necessity not only for the children but for the household, period. Fathers protect women. Men protect women from our damn selves, if we being real, and they damn sure protect them from their children. Because, like you said, yes, some mothers can be, we get a form of discipline. You have single mothers out here, but also because our emotionality, because of our instinct to nurture, to nourish, because of our instinct to go off our feelings so much, there is a level of protection that needs to come from the man, even with the children. Because sometimes the mother might outlash, she might be on her cycle. It could be that time of the month. Her hormones could be unbalanced, especially if she's going through postpartum. There's so many different factors that may lead into you disciplining your child in an incorrect way. All right. So there needs to be a level of protection, a level of correction from the male. That's where the balance comes in that. They're able to base their discipline off logic, not just feelings, not just off the emotionality that you felt in that moment. They're able to base it off logic. So they need that balance within the household. If not, then that's also a part of how you get children that resent authority, that resent that discipline they get from other adults, whether that's their teachers or from other parents they may have to interact with. They don't want to deal with that because they're traumatized from their mother doing too much for one situation and not enough for another situation. You know what I'm saying? There's an imbalance there.
Yeah, it is. And something that men understand, because let's be honest, in this world, when it comes to consequences, this world, whether it's American society or society in general, and let's talk about America, even when we talk about just America in general, not even Black America, but just America in general, consequences are way more heavy on the men than the women. Okay, let's be honest. Men are not able to cry their way out of consequences. Men are not able to cry their way to get any sympathy at all for anything. Nobody's gonna feel sorry. You did what you did and you have to face consequences. Okay, women are able to, they have a little bit more leeway with that. All right. So we have to understand this. And my thing is this: if the father has to instill that discipline, because the father understands better than the mother does about the consequences of the world. All right. And the fact that nobody is going to come to your rescue. You can't expect anybody to come and save you. You can't cry your way out of prison. You can't cry your way to get some sympathy. You can't cry on Facebook and then if a man starts crying on the internet, people are going to get more upset with him for crying on the internet. Okay. Yeah. You can't do that. You don't have that leeway as a man. So this is why he needs to be the one setting the discipline in the structure there, because he faces a reality that women don't face, because women don't put consequences on women like that, and men don't put consequences on women like that. Men are there. Men punish. Okay, that's the kind of role of men. Men punish. Men do not punish women as harshly as they punish men. That's just that. Okay, because men don't care if another man cries. Yeah. Men don't care about that. Men care if women cry. At least some men do. Okay, some men will take it easier. Men do not take it easier at all if another man cries, if another man says, I'm stressed out from work, if another man says, I'm overloaded, if another man says, I'm burnt out. Men don't care about that. All right. So and that's why it's important for those parents to be there involved. Okay. Because you need that sense of discipline there, because if you don't instill that in the child, the child is going to learn that outside in reality. You're not going to protect the child outside of the household. By disciplining the child, let me say this very clearly, by disciplining the child, that is their form of protection. By instilling certain behaviors that will keep them out of trouble, that is their form of protection when you're not around. That's you protecting them when you're not around. All right, that's what that is. Because if you don't do it, somebody else will do it. Now, if somebody put a hole in one of those kids, are you gonna get on Facebook talking about, well, my kid don't owe anybody an apology? Your kid was jumping somebody, and then somebody came up and did something. Now you got to plan a funeral for your kid because your kid was jumping somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And then her little nephew came running around a corner saying, hey, my auntie's getting jumped. I don't care about these kids like that. See, these are consequences that you're not thinking of. You have people, let me show you this video. You have people in the neighborhood actually looking for these kids. Now, thankfully,
this shit been going on.
Nobody's there to actually physically harm the kids, but the situation could go there. If these kids were any older than they were, the situation more than likely would have gone there.
Yes, they said that the mama been kicked out. The mama been squatting in the buildings. Not the mama that got jumped on, but the parents of the little boy. They say the boys and the other girl. They say the mama 30 years old with 5 kids, and this been happening. They like the summer been peaceful. The whole summer was peaceful until they brought their ass back over here. And the mamas and grandma been squatting. They said they burnt the grandma house on fire. The grandma used to stay in one of these. So they said the grandma, they was smoking in the house and burnt the grandma house out. So, you know, they trying to put the grandma out. And then they been put the mama out. So the mama been over here in these apartments squatting. So it's a sad situation, but
wow.
Get your kids. She 30. They say she 30 with 5 kids. Like,
damn.
So many resources out here for you to be, you know, allowing your kids to live the way you live. They say the house nasty and everything. One of the ladies also said that she opened her house up to the kids over here if they need like ranch, hot sauce, they hungry, whatever. Her husband mentor the kids. But she stopped letting them come because one of the daughters is disrespectful and she's 12 years old. And the mama just be out here drunk, high, popping pills, all type of stuff. So they really, you know, it's a sad situation because they've been squatting. 30 with 5 kids, it's resources out here. You need to just, shit. Mama just don't care. Mama 30 years old with 5 kids, and they said the mama be outside drunk, high, popping pills. They even said that the mama, one of the little boys robbed the library lady. So how the video originally got out is because the girl that I was just walking with, she live over here. Her kids go to this school. She said the little kids came to her house and told her husband, like, look at this video. And they had the lady phone, and they was trying to do something with, you know, try to sell the lady phone, talking about something. I need me a car. He was like, I'm going to post a video and make y'all dumb ass go viral. So that's how the video got viral, because they thought they was being funny, but they went viral.
As you can see, that it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in that household.
Sheesh. But I'm not surprised though, because like you say, like, I'm glad we set the tone with that, because this is not something that's openly accepted in our culture, you know. And a lot of times when you see behavior like this from children, it's a lot of the times it is because their parents are either degenerates, and they're using drugs, they got alcohol problems, they, you know what I'm saying, they made a lot of other bad decisions, or they're in a bad predicament themselves, which is why you see that reflected in the children. You know, it's an egregious thing, but that's very real. I know a lot of children, and that's not always the case, because I know a lot of children, adults, should I say now, that came from similar situations and now do not practice those same behaviors with their own children or in their adulthood lives. So it is good to see, but yeah, that's a real reality. You know, her having 5 children at the age of 30 is insane. That means you had your first, and the oldest is 12, 13. That means you was having kids at like 17, 18 and just kept having them damn kids back to back to back. That's absolutely asinine to do, especially if you don't even have stable housing. She talking about the mother doing pills. That's egregious. I feel bad for them children, and shout out to that brother and sister in that neighborhood who was looking out for them children, because that is something that's within our culture, is to look out for those that are in need. You know, there are my mother used to do that. It was a family that used to live three, four houses down from us when I lived in South Carolina, and it was like 8 of them. I think that was like Mormons or something like that. They were black, but they were like Mormons, or I think what's the other one? Amish, something I forgot. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses. I think it was Jehovah's Witnesses. And it was like, I think more than 8. It was like 12 of them, actually. I think the oldest was like 17, going all the way down to like 3. We literally had them come to our house one time because their water was off. They couldn't take baths. They literally had to go in our bathtub one by one. You know, the little ones did it together, but the tub was crazy filthy afterwards. But they literally couldn't even take baths. So they had to come to our house to take baths. My mother opened up that house so they could just take a damn shower, because they hadn't taken a bath in a couple of days because their fucking water was off, you know?
Oh, wow.
She helped them get housed. Helped them get food from like a food bank and things like that. So that's just within our culture, to help those within need, help our people that's in need. So that's actually lovely to see. But again, the fact that they had to stop helping them because the daughter had a smart mouth, this goes back to, you know, there's a thing with adultifying our children. This system does adultify our children, unfortunately, but our role in doing that to them is egregious as well. We have to take accountability in the fact that we help to adultify our children. When you put them in situations where have 5 damn children in a household where there's no food, no stability, y'all really are squatting in a house that y'all not even living. You and your mother is doing drugs and pills and alcohol. The child takes on a sense of responsibility. Like, now I feel the need to help my children, so I'm gonna go out and steal. I'm gonna go out and do this. I'm gonna go out, and there's a level of resentment that you have even with adults that are trying to help you, because it's like, damn, I want my mother to be doing this for me. You don't even know how to really receive that help, receive that nurturing, receive that, and be grateful for it, because you weren't taught that. You've been grown up with this level of resentment and anger and hostility towards your own mother because of her own decisions. So we have to be honest about how we add on to the adultifying of our own children. I've seen mothers. I remember reacting to a little girl from a few years ago. Her mother told her to walk up to a grown ass woman and call her a bitch. This little girl was probably like 9 years old, and she was like, yeah, go over there and call her. Yeah, she said it. What you ain't gonna do nothing about it. That's my daughter. And the daughter is like, you could tell even when the daughter says it, she like says it, and she says it like a little confidently, but she's also like a little scared, like, damn, I hope this lady don't hit me. But you're adding on to the adultifying of your child. Now she feels like it's an empowering thing to insult an adult, and you say that to the wrong adult, and they're gonna get their ass whooped. They don't give a damn if you're a child or not. They might just put their hands on you. So that level of accountability has to be there too. We cannot keep adding on to adultifying our own children. We have to let them be children while they are, because this system they don't want them to be allowed to be children. So we have to give them the space in the room and the even level of privilege to be children while they can. Because if not, we see things like this. It's a great.
Yeah, we do. That was deep. Well said. I also want to add this. You see the condition that the mother was in. Now this is what, even if we say this was a few of the children, because there was a crowd of them, we don't know all of the cases of the kids. But if they're not far off, if they're not all exactly in that type of condition, they're not far off. These are not kids who have established families, who are all closely knit and all of that with super good discipline. No, these are not that. I want you to think of how these kids feel if their mother if their dad, she didn't even mention the dad. So if she knows this about the mom and she don't know nothing about the dad, that means the dad's not there. That's what that means. Imagine now the kids, whether the dad is there with the woman who was jumped, the dad is present, the dad was there. Think about that. Think about a child who sees a mother who's dedicated enough, even though she has sickle cell, to go and walk and pick her kids up from school. And you being a child, you go to, you don't have a mom who cares enough to pick you up from school or to take you to school
Right.
or to be around you. When you go home, she's high. When you go home, she's drunk. You got to find your own food to eat. You got to rob a library lady so you can get something to eat. Your neighbors have to feed you. Your mom can't do that. Your mom's out here having more kids that she can't afford, that she can't take care of. The other woman that you said made the video about a child having less than her, people don't jump people like that when they have quote unquote less than.
Right.
Even if you have more material, you're doing that to a child. You're beating up someone who's smaller than you out of jealousy. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Looking at the conditions that these children are growing up in. Now, I don't know the finances of the victim. I don't know that type of situation, but I know she's present. She's present enough to be concerned and go to the children, go to the school
and report to the school about the harassment.
She knows that much. She's that concerned. She's concerned she's that much of a mother to be concerned to go to the school when the child is being victimized. Now, if you were being victimized, is your mother going to go to the school and say something? No. I mean, your mother's squatting. Your mother doesn't even have a place to stay. So when you see that, there's a sense of jealousy that you have. A jealousy of a family that you don't have. That's one of the reasons why you're so upset. Because there's nothing that this kid could have done that would have provoked you to do that, and the mother too. Yeah. The fact that they beat the mother up shows a little bit of anger towards her. And what did she do? Besides be a mother to her kid? You have to think about it like that.
That's a fact. That's absolutely a fact. It's really a sad case to see. Honestly, on all sides. But again, I can't, the level of empathy or the level of even sadness is hard to feel as much when you see such egregious behaviors. Honestly, it actually does make me more sad, to be honest. That's actually, it makes me sadder for the children because, again, you're failing your children. They don't understand the repercussions of how these sort of behaviors will affect them later on in the future. For the parents, I'm like, we all victims of white supremacy. So there's a level of empathy that I have for all Black people, period, adults, children, and that. But even with that, there's a level of accountability that's for the adults, moreover than for the children, because they might not know the consequence of their actions yet, or the degree of how these actions might, the degree of how bad, what direction it might take them in life. But you know that why you're in this, but you know why you living on Section 8, you know why you living in a certain area, you know what decisions you made, why you don't have a husband, or why you don't, so you understand, and you're setting your child up to either go down that same path or go down the worst path by not giving them by not correcting these actions, by not correcting it, because these are things that shouldn't have to be corrected. It shouldn't even be done. Yeah. These are examples that should already be set. These are moral standards that should already be set within your child, especially at 12, 13 years old. That's crazy. If these kids was maybe 5, 6, and the children was just as young, and maybe I could understand a little bit more, because a 5, 6-year-old, a 6, 7-year-old can't even do as much damage of a 12, 13-year-old. You reaching high school, you're in puberty. Your level of strength is different. Your level of your height is different. Your level of your ways of thinking is a little bit different. So a 6, 7-year-old, maybe they might not even wait until after school. They might have tried to do this shit on the playground. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not thinking about the consequences afterwards. A 12, 13-year-old, they are. So, and although they can't understand to the degree of which it will take them in life, because they're still children, they can think about it a little bit more than a 6, 7-year-old, which is why they waited. And they basically, they put together a plan to do this, to attack these people, to attack this family. So that right there has to be checked. I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna be real. Whatever the parents decide to do, whether they want to press charges, whether they want the school to, I think honestly, bare minimum, the school should be expelling these damn children. Honest, I think everyone involved. Even if the cameraman who wasn't putting y'all need to be expelled too. Every child involved in this situation needs to be expelled. Point blank, period. But after that, if the parents decide to press charges or whatever the case may be, I'm not mad at them. because this is something that they need to know, that this, you cannot ever do no shit like this ever again in life. This is unexcusable, and you lucky you only 12, 13, because honestly, again, I think 13 is the age for juvie. So if you want low under that, you can't go there. But imagine if they was 15, 16. Imagine if they was 18. You're going to jail. This could be, you could have ruined the first 4 or 5 years of your adulthood based on a situation like this. So yeah, they gotta feel it. They have to feel the consequences of that. They have to.
And the consequences, as I said before, need to be loud too.
Yes, very.
They need to be loud. The fact that they traumatized these kids, that mother, and then that endangered them. I mean, think about this as far as the community is concerned as well too. Now you're gonna have people being all like, "Man, there's kids out here jumping people."
Right.
Now this puts a stigma of fear and danger in the community. The consequences need to be loud. The school, I will also advise that the school need to be sued, because if the mother was telling the school about the student's behavior for 3 years and nothing was done about it, then that means that the school has documentation on that and decided to ignore it.
Yep.
Decided not to suspend anybody, not to even have a parent-teacher conference with her and then another parent or whatever the case may be, not to intervene whatsoever, and allowed the situation to escalate into what happened. So the school needs to be held accountable, because all of them had just recently gotten off school out of class. You can tell, and the woman had said so herself. She was picking them up from school. So the school needs a lawsuit as well too. They need to pay whatever medical bills that she has or whatever. They need to pay for whatever trauma thing she got. They need to pay, and they need to pay heavy for that. Okay, because it would be one thing if this happened and the school had no chance to intervene, but 3 years, and you had all this opportunity to do or say something and they did nothing. And not only does the mother say something, the other woman in that other video, she expressed the same thing, like, hey, this has been a problem. So clearly these kids have been a menace. Okay, and the school has allowed that and permitted that and enabled that by not intervening. So they need to be held accountable.
They should. And I honestly, I just seen somebody comment say that too. I was thinking about that as well. I'm glad they brought it up. But they should be doing some sort of community service work, because this is, like you said, this has an impact on the community. Other children could be scared. You know, we don't know if other children was already affected by the bullying or harassment of these children anyway. You know, this is one parent, but you know, some parents, again, added to the adultification of our children. Oh, you better let everybody whoop your ass. You better fight back. You know. So some parents don't even take into account the heaviness or how that affects that child's psyche, how that affects that child's behavior with other children, how that affects their mentality in general, how their overall mental health, having to stand up for themselves and not having a parent there behind them. Like, every child don't want to fight. Every child shouldn't have to fight. It shouldn't have to always lead to a fight. Sometimes a parent-teacher conference just might end it, or a parent-to-parent interaction just might be necessary, because sometimes it ain't the fact that your child is a punk. It's that this child is 2-3 years older. This child is bigger than them, even if they're in the same ground. This child is bigger than them. They didn't already get into a tussle or two already, and now it's like, bruh, I'm not about to keep fighting the same kid. I'm not about to keep, like, now it needs to go to a parent. So that there has to be that I think that the children should be having to feed back into the community just as much as they taken away from that. They should have to do a few hours, at least like 50, 70 hours, 75 hours, 100 hours. I don't give a damn how much they put on them kids. They need to do a ample amount of time putting work into the community that they have now contributed to putting a disruption into. They have to. That's a part of the accountability as well, and the parents.
Yeah, because as you were saying before, as far as the adultification, which is very true, is very correct, the adultification of Black children, what they're like, you said the minimum age, the absolute bare minimum age for juvie is 13 years old.
I believe so.
Correct? Now, here's the thing. If they were like this, with this type of behavior, if they were like 15, 16 or whatever the case is, you know, in the system of white supremacy, they love to try young children as adults. So they run around, do this stuff, and they wind up being about 16 years old or something like that. I've seen cases where 15-year-olds are tried as an adult.
They will do it.
There's historic cases of even younger than that being tried as an adult. They run around, do this to the wrong person, and wind up getting a state or felony charge on them. They might wind up being charged as an adult, and it's happened to young Black kids. So if they don't learn now, then the consequences are going to be very severe. They might not miss just the first couple years into their adulthood. They might spend a whole decade in prison.
Yeah.
Okay. Spend their whole adolescence and then the first 8 years in prison.
Exactly.
And come out in their late 20s or early 30s.
That's real. That's
You don't this is the problem. Okay. And as you said about community service too, because it is about punishing them and setting an example that this is not tolerated, but it's also about rehabilitating them.
Right.
It's about it because at the end of the day, as much as we're upset and disappointed, we're speaking from anger and disappointment, but these are still kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't want to just throw them, despite how despicable their behavior is, we don't want to throw them away, throw all these kids away. These kids need, and looking at the condition that they're raised in, they need some rehabilitation. They need some structure, right? So community service is necessary. I don't know if it's community service, maybe a boot camp or whatever the case is, but they need that whatever anger management therapy, I don't know what it might be, but whatever, they need that rehabilitation before they reach a certain age where nobody cares. Because you're at the age 12, 11, you're at the age where people care and want to rehabilitate you. When you a few years later, nobody's going to care anymore. They're going to say lock them up and throw away the key.
That's a fact, especially for Black children. We got to be real. In the system of white supremacy, baby, Black children are always going to be held accountable. So again, that's why it's important for us to do it, for it to start in home. It's a part of the reason. Also because we just want a functional, healthy, society in general moving forward. We want our next generations to be functional, to be held, to be accountable, to be respectful adults, and so on and so forth. But also, that's a level of protection that you're giving your child as a Black child in America. That's a level of protection that you're giving them by holding them accountable.
Yeah. And I also want to give a shout out to the community for standing up.
For sure.
I mean, because not only did this go viral, as you can see right here, I'm talking about it's a whole crowd of people outside, and everybody is outside because this is not acceptable.
It's not.
This type of behavior here is not acceptable. When you're looking at this, everybody is outside. These are adults outside looking for the kids because they don't want this behavior in the community. And this goes to show our culture. This goes to show the fact that our culture does not allow this type of behavior to go unpunished. This is not something that we enable. Because if our culture enabled this type of behavior, you wouldn't see so many people looking for the kids. You wouldn't see so many people standing behind the mother and supporting the victims of the situation. You wouldn't see that if our culture allowed this or didn't care. Just so y'all know. So y'all know. So shout out to them for that.
Yeah, that's a fact. Shout out to the FBA's on code, baby. We ain't going for shit like this, man. This is not it. We got degenerate issues. We got degenerates in our community. We have issues as a community, for sure. We are victims of white supremacy. We didn't have 400 years of trauma, oppression, and all types of shit happening to us. So, right, post-traumatic slave syndrome is absolutely 100% real. Okay, so we got issues. It just is what it is. We haven't even been free as long as we've been enslaved. So we're going to have a slew of issues that we're going to have to deal with. It's unfortunate, but it's something that it's just a reality that we have to deal with, and we have to continue to correct. And grow out of, so yeah, shout out to that community. Shout out to all the FBAs, all the B1 media, that's been covering this, because I haven't heard anybody outside of them weak ass parents, the couple weak ass parents that was defending this, mothers. Let me say that specifically, the weak ass mothers that was defending this. I haven't heard anybody else defend this sort of behavior, try to justify it. All the commentary I've heard on this has been somewhat similar. That this is absolutely egregious behavior. and it's unjustifiable. So yeah, because that's our culture, baby. That's what we do. You know, we don't stand on shit like this. This is egregious. We respect our elders over here. That's our culture.
Yeah, that is. Let me get to the super chat from. What is going on today?
That is crazy. That's insane.
That's never okay.
I ain't never seen it.
Shout out to Ms. Nisi. She says, Afro, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't be concerned about your eyesight. Okay, well, I guess that's true. Thank you for that.
Damn, you can't get
a boy, StreamYard, and I'm gonna have to write y'all because y'all.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm definitely reporting the problem. This is crazy.
Okay. So yeah, but you make a good point. You make a really good point, and we're gonna follow this story. We're gonna keep up with it. We're gonna make sure we, track where it goes.
Yeah.
So that way, we know what happens with the kids. We know what happens with the mother. I'm glad that everybody, despite her being hospitalized, she was still able to, she's still stable. Whatever. Yeah. Some bumps and bruises, but it's nothing that's gonna really mess her up in the long term. So that's a good thing. The kids, unfortunately, they're traumatized, but they weren't hurt that bad, So everybody's going to be able to walk away from this, but there does need to be immediate action. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And the action needs to be loud in order to set the standard, because as a community, we set the standard and raise the bar around the behavior of the children.
Mm-hmm.
If we act as if this isn't a concern, then what are the kids going to expect?
Yeah, that's a fact. Hey, do you know what part of Chicago this was in?
Well, this was in the South Side.
Okay.
This was in the South Side. I'm not exactly sure what neighborhood, but this was in the South Side. I know that much.
Yeah, that's the greatest, man.
Oh, wow. Y'all working hard out here. I don't know if you can even hear me. I don't know why that. But thank you for the super chat. I don't know what's going on with the super chat, y'all. I don't. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I hope that's and I wish her well on her health journey as well, because she does have sickle cell, and that's that's something prevalent within our communities as well. So yeah, I'm wishing the sister the best for sure. And I think she has a GoFundMe as well. I feel like I seen something about her having a GoFundMe so she can move. I think she was trying to move. So best of luck to the sister. Definitely show her love, show her support.
Also, speaking of which, I think that this case, follow me. This case kind of brings up a good argument for why reparations is so needed, why reparations is so necessary. Imagine squatting in a house. You used to live with your mom. Now you don't live with your mom. You don't really have no resources. The kids don't have no resources. So they're resorted to stealing and robbing, which creates a culture in the kids where, committing crimes is acceptable. Okay, I will say my family have been at times, have money problems. Okay, but it's never been so bad where I've had to rob somebody. I've had to steal from the store to get something to eat. My parents were always able to find a way to put food on the table, even if it was a little bit, even if the refrigerator had a little bit of food, they were able to put some there. So I thank them for that. But I do understand that there are children who their parents don't put no food on the table.
Yeah.
That if they eat at school and then that's it. Okay. And that's because the school has to feed them. Shout out to the Black Panthers for that.
Yeah.
But with reparations, the depravity that you see, the lack of resources enables this type of environment.
That's true.
That breeds this type of children. That breeds that type of degeneracy in behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is why you got to put resources there, because with resources there, you can get the school kids in after school programs. Okay.
Yeah.
You can get the mother in a rehab program or whatever type of. There's a lot more that could have been done.
That's true.
Okay.
Even the family members, because we don't know if our family members, they could be in similar predicaments. But if we got reparations, baby, somebody in the family got enough money to take on at least a couple of the kids, to bring in some of them, and then maybe a couple of them go to another household, go to another family member's household. But it's a lot more likely that the people around them are able to help, and cater to the children and cater to the family, help support the family. If we got the reparations, that's a fact. Absolutely.
That's true. It's multi-layered. I'm just arguing that this is an argument for reparations. Okay, I'm not saying that if we had reparations, we wouldn't have stuff like this. Nobody's saying that. Okay, let me be clear. Okay, nobody's saying that because this is a cultural thing. Okay, and unfortunately, we have degenerates in the culture, but you see, the culture is ostracizing this type of behavior, as we should. As we should. All communities have troublemakers, okay, and problematic people in the culture, okay, and it's up to the community to hold those people accountable and make sure that that is ostracized, so that type of behavior does not become contagious and infect the rest of the community, which is what we do on a consistent basis. Okay, so whether we have reparations or not, even though this is a case that we can make, because looking at the resources, we can make that argument. But whether we have it or not, this is the culture holding the culture accountable, as we should be doing.
Yes, we should be. That's a fact, and that's within our culture. You feel me? And I did see somebody in the comments say that I think I see somebody say that they raised 200,000 for. I hope that's true. Oh, I hope that's true.
I got to check on that, but that would be great.
That's beautiful. I hope so. That's a blessing. I hope that. And I seen somebody say that they gave her a house. That's beautiful. I love to see it. I pray that is true. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say that that's a fact, but just from what I see in the comments, that's what I seen a couple people say. I hope so. That's a beautiful thing. Like, for real.
All right. No, it is. Zizi, do you have any final words? Any closing statements?
Lord, final words, man. This is absolutely outrageous, egregious, everything in between. So sick to see. I really despise seeing acts like this happen to people in our community. We already have enough to deal with the white supremacist system and the white supremacist individuals attacking our community as is, and now we got a bunch of non-FBAs, a bunch of damn immigrants adding on to our problems as well. So to see things like this, it's like we got a lot of issues to deal with. We got a lot of things to work out, and our children should always be priority. Our children should always come first. They are the representatives of the next generation. They are literally the future. So if we are not catering to, if we are not nurturing, if we are not teaching our children better, if we are not teaching our children our moral standards, our respectability standards, our culture, if we're not passing that down, we have a serious issue. All right, that's going to add to the slew of issues that we already have to deal with. So shout out to the Black American parents that are on code, that are teaching their children the right things, that are teaching their children how to be productive adults and human beings in general, and catering and being empathetic and understanding their place as children. Shout out to y'all, because that's what really, that's who really represents our community. That is, I think, represents the majority of our parents in our households in general. But for those of y'all, the degenerates, the mothers, the aunties that are misrepresenting us, these parents that are out here teaching these children these degenerate behaviors, y'all got to do better. This is absolutely egregious, man. I'm sorry. I do empathize for us, because again, we are victims of white supremacy, and these are the side effects, unfortunately. But we have to recognize that, and we have to choose to do better. We have to choose to do differently, all right, than what the white supremacists expect us to do. This is unexcusable, unjustifiable, and I hope that family gets justice. This is egregious.
I agree. And it starts off by letting them know, by putting a message in their minds to let them know forever that there will be severe consequences. They need to be saying this 50 years from now. Man, I was a kid and I was 12 years old. I beat this old lady up and I never forgot my consequences. And I'm talking about the consequences need to be public. Everybody needs to see it, because I want this to be known right here and there. I want people to see the punishment of these children, and I want the best for them. I in my heart of hearts, I really do. I want them to be punished so they can learn from the consequences, while they still are young enough to receive mercy that they won't receive when they become adults. That's what I want for them. And I want this to be a message for everybody else, so they can see, oh, well, no, I saw what happened in Chicago. I'm not about to do that, because I already know they don't play like that.
And honestly,
And we're already seeing that.
the way you worded that earlier, rehabilitation is really the key. A part of that rehabilitation is the consequences for their actions.
Yeah.
So that's you was absolutely on point. That's a fact. Correction is what's needed at the end of the day.
Yeah. Because as of right now, like if a grown man saw that 12-year-old who did that, he ain't gonna punch him in the face. He might grab him, shake him up a little bit. But if he was 16, 17 years old, if he did that when he's 16, 17 years old, might be a very different story.
Oh, for sure.
So while they're young enough to learn, before they become stuck in their ways, before they're old enough to where people don't care about their life. Because when they reach a certain age, people are going to treat them like adults.
Yep.
And they're not going to care to rehabilitate them. So I hope they learn this now.
Absolutely. The greatest. This was a good show, though. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe. We do have another podcast episode coming out this weekend. All right. Make sure you guys go there. You can hit the pre-likes on that already. You can hit the pre-likes on that already. Go there. Hit the pre-likes. New podcast episode coming out this weekend. More stuff coming out. So thank you guys for that. Thank you guys for this. Was a surprise live, but we've had about 200 people in here. So this has been really good. So thank you guys for that. I mean, this has been really, really good. Thank you guys for that. Make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button, the notification button, all of that. If you guys like this channel, want this channel to grow, be supported, thank you. We're this close
to 10.
This close. Hold on. Y'all see my finger? This close. We're about this close. Hold on. This close to 10K.
Subscribe, please.
Yes.
Find it.
Okay. We got 2 months left. We can get it done by the end of the year.
We can. We definitely can.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna be wearing my glasses next time. They're gonna beat me up. Okay. I'm gonna be wearing my glasses next time. So thank you guys for that. All right. You all have a good rest of your day. Have a good start to your weekend. We got more stuff coming up for y'all this weekend. All right. Especially the big episode. So y'all make sure y'all go watch that. Okay. So we got a good weekend for you guys. For you guys. So with that being said, you all have a good rest of your day. All right.
Be one. Peace.